Alright, so here we are with a Swiss draft of Dragons of Tarkir, and looks like we opened a pretty good rare here. Boltwing Marauder. This works pretty well with the dash strategies in red-black, so looks like that's where we're going to be trying to go. But as it is a two-color rare, we don't necessarily have to we don't want to force that color too hard. But next best card in the pack is probably Vulturous Haven, but that's not really, or Mischief Kieran. Neither of those are cards you really want to be first picking though. Yeah, Boltwing Marauder's pretty easy pick. Now, what do we got here? Taking a while for it to load the art. Okay. Well, we got a Warbringer here. It's not ideally a card you always want a second pick, but with the first pick, Boltwing Marauder, I think it's time to go all in for on the dash strategy. Yeah, we're just gonna do this. Otherwise, this is a somewhat weak pack. The second best card is probably Tail Slash, or possibly Segmented Crotic. But I think sticking with just going for dash is great. Alright. Here there's a couple of decent dash creatures. Neither are particularly great. The only black card in the pack is Grave Purge, which just is not something you want in any deck. There's a couple decent green cards here. It's a weak pack overall. The best cards are probably these white cards, Sandcrafter Mage and Shieldhide Dragon. But I think I'm gonna take Sprinting Warbrute, because I think it is better than Screamreach Brawler. Although, no, Sprinting Warbrute. We can get a Screamreach Brawler later if we need it. Those things go around late. Alright. So, this may not be the best strategy. Black looks like it's getting cut pretty hard. These are some pretty weak packs. Huh. I could just stay in red and take the Summit Prowler, which is a fine card, but top end's getting kind of heavy here. I could see, it's not really worth switching into green for Stampeding Elkhart, even though that's quite good. Blue has his Palace Familiar, but that's it. Yeah, this is just a weak pack, so I'm going to take Summer Prowler. Okay, here we go. Those were just weak packs. Black is possibly still open. This is a weak pack too, actually. Flatten is the best card by a ton. Most of the rest of this pack isn't even playable. Huh. Yeah, Flatten's the easy pickup here. Now we need to be looking for some cheaper creatures, and there's a few here. Huh. So it's between this Culligan Aspirant and Reckless Imp. Reckless Imp works well with our couple of dash cards here, but I think Culligan Aspirant is just better overall. We do want 2-drops in this deck. So I think the pick is Culligan Aspirant, because we're not too committed to black yet either. So I'd like to cut red as hard as possible. Okay. Here is another Reckless Imp. There's also a Sabertooth Outrider, which is a pretty good card, and I think is better than the Reckless Imp by a decent margin. But we already have 2 4-drops here and 2 5-drops, and this is kind of a 4-drop. And plus our 4-mana removal spell. We need to pick up some cheaper stuff, so I think I'm going to take the Reckless Imp here. Ooh, more good stuff. Seems like we're in the right colors. So there's a Butcher's Glee, very strong combat trick. There's Dragon Fodder, which is pretty decent 2-drop. There's not... In cons there was a lot of stuff to combo with tokens, but in this set there's not as much. Though it does work quite well with the Bullring Marauder. Shambling Goblin's just okay. It's great if your opponent has a lot of 1 toughness stuff. I'm gonna take the Butcher's Glee though. Oh, 3 good options here for creatures. Kolaghan Skirmisher's got the dash, which is quite good with this. I think Hardened Berserker is just a better card though, and I think Kolaghan Skirmisher is better than Kolaghan Aspirant. But I think Hardened Berserker is the best of them all, especially with what we've got going up here. Alright, here we've got Defeat. It's not a great removal spell, but it is a removal spell. And in an aggressive deck, we want to, like we've got going on here, we do want to remove early creatures. I'm surprised the Segmented Crotic is still here, because that's quite a good card. Dromoka Doomcaster's okay too. But I'm going to take Defeat. Here we go. Scream Rage Brawler came back. So, not a great card, but it's one we want for this deck. Surprised the Dragon's Guard Bear is still there too. Here, I don't really want Kindled Fury, so I'm gonna take Custodian the Trove, because that kind of hurts us a little bit. So I'll take the Vandalize just in case, but probably not gonna play it. Those are gone. Oh, man. Okay. Lots of good stuff here. Sunscorch Regent is a very powerful card. Probably one of the better rares in this set. But we're not in white. And here's another Warbringer. There's also a Sarkhan's Rage, which is quite good. Another Butcher's Glee, but I don't really want 2 Butcher's Glee. And then hopefully we can wheel this Kolaghan Skirmisher, but I'm going to take the Warbringer, and we're just going to go all in on this dash. Okay. Sprinting Warbrute. It's quite good. This is not a good pack for us. A lot of blue-white cards and not a lot else in the other colors. Of course, none of these blue-white cards are that strong. The only really good ones are Dromoka Warrior and Monastery Lore Master. But yeah, there's nothing else for us besides Sprinting Warboot, and the Sprinting Warboot's actually something we might want, so passing a lot of good white here. Gleam of Authority is pretty decent. Haven't had a chance to play with it yet to see how quite good it is, because it is pretty risky, but I mean, you only need to get a couple hits in for it to be worth it. During Victory, good removal spell. Kolaghan Skirmisher's alright, but I think I just want this Tail Slash removal. It's a decent removal spell. It's a little awkward with all the dash. We're not going to have as many creatures on the field, but it's still worth it. Okay, here there is a Hand of Silumgar. Quite good creature. Need more 2-drops for sure, so this is a fine 2-drop. The black cards in this pack, Mind Rot and Duress, neither are what we really want. Kindled Fury, again, it's a pretty weak combat trick, and we don't want too many combat tricks. And we already have one in Butcher's Glee. And Tail Slash is almost a combat trick too. Okay, nothing particularly strong here. A couple of 2-drops to choose from. I'm going to take Kolaghan Skirmisher because it has dash, and we already have a Kolaghan Aspirant. And I do think it's slightly better. Although, worth noting that our red, we do have more red, so we'll probably have more mountains, which would make Kolaghan Aspirant more likely to come down on turn 2. But that could change, and I think Kolaghan Skirmisher is enough better that we take it. Okay. Huh. There is another Butcher's Glee. I don't think we want a second one in this deck. So I'm going to take Dragon Fodder. These aren't super exciting picks here, but it's a fine card. And we just got cut hard. Wow. This is interesting, because we weren't passing a whole lot of good black-red in the last pack. Like, this is just cut really hard. I'm going to take the Scion of Ugin, because it's the only thing we can actually cast, but probably not going to play that. Okay, here we go. A Tarkir-FRF. A Tarkir-FRF is very strong. This should not still be in the pack. Yeah, very happy to pick that up. So far we've got 18 playables, which is pretty good in pack 2. Huh. Well, we got another Butcher's Glee. I don't think we're going to play it. Another option is Vial of Dragonfire, which is decent, but we're in red-black, which has better burn. Vial of Dragonfire is better suited for like a blue-white deck or something like that, or blue-green deck that doesn't have many other options for dealing damage. Impact Tremors just doesn't do a whole lot. I don't like the card. And Storm Rhetoric is the same way. It just doesn't do very much. It's not worth the card. I'm gonna put one of these Butcher's Glees in the sideboard for now. I'm surprised Monastery Loremaster is still here. It's a pretty good card. Volcanic Rush is decent. I think I'll probably take it. I don't think we want it though. With dash, it's a little you're not gonna have too many creatures out on the field. Yeah, just nothing here. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Segment Necrotic because that seems like the best card here. These are all terrible, so I'm gonna take the most playable. Alright, what we're looking for in Fate Reforged now is the Goblin Heel Cutters. If we can pick up one or two of those, we'd be super happy. Other than that, could use a little bit more removal. And, yeah, 3 drops are a little light. Could use those. Okay, here's a Tasigur. Huh. There's also a Reach of Shadows. This Mardu Scout would be good. But I don't think that is worth it right now. Huh. We can't activate the ability on Tasigur, but he's still playable. Just as a 6-mana 4/5 Delve. That's pretty good. We don't have any Delve cards in this deck yet. Obviously because Delve's not in the previous set in Dragons. And having one Delve card is usually pretty good. So I think I'm gonna take it anyways, just for the tickets. Reach of Shadows is a consideration. It is a pretty good removal spell, but Yeah, I'm taking Tassiger for the tickets. And it might even be the right pick. Oh my god. That is one of the best cards we could have been passed. Foil Brutal Horde Chief. Yeah. That's pretty crazy that we got past that. Someone else opened something pretty ridiculous then. Wow. I don't think I've ever been past a foil mythic before. Especially one that fits right into this deck. Move this to 3. It does... we're still fine on the curve. A little top heavy, but that's fine. It's all pretty strong. If that wasn't in this pack, Garmag Angler's pretty good, although it serves the same role as the Tasker we just picked up. And the common and the rare, they're actually about the same in this deck since we can't activate Tasker. Tasker's a little cheaper, but Angler has one more power. Teamer Battle Rage is also pretty strong. Yeah, we've got a bunch of stuff to trigger that, but I'm definitely taking the Brutal Horde Chief. Pyrotechnics. That is a great pickup too. Just an excellent removal spell. One of the best uncommons in Fate Reforged. Yeah. After Black Red not being opened at all in that second pack, dried up pretty fast. Here it looks like nobody's in it. Again, this makes our curve pretty high, but it's all power. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. There's absolutely nothing for us in this pack. That dried up incredibly quickly, which is really surprising considering what we just got past. It's just all... These are both terrible. The 2 black cards, there's not a single red card. And this is garbage. We don't... I know we have 1 dragon, but even still, it's not even worth it. Yeah. I am just gonna take this guy, or... What am I most afraid of? Probably this Wandering Champion. I'll take that. Here, there's a Sultai Emissary, there's a Rage Form, Rage Form's decent, but we have too much 4 already. Frail Invocation is not that great. It's decent filler, but again, curve's high, so I think I'm taking the Sultai Emissary. It's not the best 2-drop for this deck, but it's fine. The best card here otherwise is probably this Lotus Pathogen, but we're not in blue. Grim Contest is also pretty good, but those end up going around late now because people are putting allied colors a little... Okay, here we go. Awkwardly, there's a few things we'd want in this pack. The land would be nice to pick up. Typhoid Rats is pretty strong. But, yeah, there's the Heel Cutter. That's exactly what we were looking for. Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, here... Teamer Battle Rage is pretty much the only thing that we'd want. Ancestral Vengeance is not that great. I think it's an okay card. It's got a good effect here that I think is worth the card, but the double black is just, it's too hard to cast most of the time. You want to cast this relatively early, and with double black it just makes it too difficult to do that. Well, not much here either. Smoldering Efreet is I mean, it's a fine 2-drop if you need a 2-drop, but we have plenty. I'm gonna take it anyways. Probably. Dragon Rage is just not good. It just, I mean, we have Volcanic Rush, which I think just does the same thing, but way better. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Smoldering Efreet, but I don't think it will make the cut. We already have more than enough playables. And this has the exact same print run as the pack 2 packs ago. These were all the same cards. So, I'll take Vengeance, I guess. But I'm not gonna play it. Okay. Interesting. I'll take another Teamer Battle Rage. This is not a deck that wants 2 Teamer Battle Rage, though. I don't even know if I'm going to play the first one. If we had another Atarka free, maybe. But alright, yeah. All the good stuff's gone. Take this Skullkeeper. We'll take Skullkeeper again. None of these are playable. Take that just to have it. Sure, another Smoldering Efreet. Okay, I think this deck turned out pretty good. We didn't get quite as much dash as I was hoping for, but maybe that's correct, because you don't want too much dash, or everything's stuck in your hand. But with 2 Warbringers, we can cast it all at once. Let's see, we have 1, 2... Oh, it's about to switch. We have 1, 2, 3... I guess the second Warbringer counts. Yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dash. Actually, that's quite a bit. That's quite a bit. Okay. So that's under consideration. We need another 2-drop. We got these, but that's not going to happen. I don't think we need more top end for that, but I'll separate it just in case. Okay. So our removal is okay. Dragon Fodder counts as a creature. Removal's not the best. We got probably one of the best removal spells right here in Pyrotechnics. Flatten is probably the best common removal spell that you can get. Tail Slash is pretty decent. I don't think it's amazing in this deck, but it's good enough. Butcher's Glee, pretty powerful. Does a lot of different things. Helps you get in damage, helps you gain life, saves a creature. Defeat is fine, clears the way early. Teamer Battle Rage is where it's pretty good. It's really good in certain decks, but I'm not sure this is the deck for it. Need to make... Oh, only 1 cut. Okay. Awkwardly, our 3... We only have 3 3-drops. Kind of missed the boat there. Oh, no. Okay, technically we have 4. Tarkir Efreet is going to come down on turn 3 the vast majority of the time. That's still... I would have preferred 1 more. Our 2-drops are solid, though. Don't think we want to cut any of them. But we definitely do not need any more. Yeah, 4 is awkward. Goblin Heel Cutter isn't really, like, it's a 4 in that, you know, if we have it and nothing else to play, we'll cast it on turn 4. But most of the time we're going to be casting it, like, down here. Warbringer we want to cast on turn 4 so that we can dash other things. We're not going to be dashing Warbringer very often. Unless we already have one down and draw the second one. Yeah, let's move this to the curve to when we're actually going to be casting this stuff. Tail Slash comes down more like here. The Butcher's Glee's down there. Teamer Battle Rage, yeah, it's usually somewhere down there. Defeat will be cast on turn 2 often, or turn 3. More likely turn 3 in this deck with all the 2-drops. Yeah, Flatten's more like there. Actually would have liked a second Reckless Imp. Would we take over the Reckless Imp? The other one? Oh yeah, we took the 2-drop. Which is actually, you know, pretty easily replaceable with one of these Smoldering Efreets, so I probably would have liked the other Reckless Imp in that pick. In the first pack. But, overall, this deck looks pretty solid. Just need to make the 1 cut. That's 17 creatures, well, technically 18 with this Dragon Fodder. Do we even want the Dragon Fodder? It does work well with Brutal Horde Chief and with Bullwing Marauder, so I think we do. Yeah. What's the cut? It's not defeat. I'm not a big fan of defeat because it's pretty weak. You know, destroying target creatures power 2 or less. Very narrow. It's a sorcery. And unlike cons, like in cons, most morphs below 5 mana when they were flipped up, they still had 2 power or less. I think Mystic of the Hidden Way was one of the only few that, and Canyon Lurkers. A couple of the only few that flipped up for less than 5 that got more than 2 power. But with Megamorphs, when they can be flipped up, almost all of them get more than 2 power. A lot turn into like 3/2s or mostly 3/2s. They don't usually get more than 2 toughness and more than 3 power, but yeah. So the cut could be Summit Prowler. Summit Prowler is pretty strong. If we want to cut some top end, we're not going to cut any of the dash. We're not going to cut either of these very powerful creatures. Tasker can come down late. Great thing about Tasker is late game, when there's some stuff in our graveyard, we can cast him for 2 or 3 while also dashing in a Heel Cutter or something like that, on like turn 6. I think if we were going to cut a creature, it would be either Summit Prowler or one of these 2 drops, which would be either the Sultai Emissary or the Dragon Fodder would be the 2 drop cuts. Or we could cut from our top end and cut Summit Prowler. Or we could cut the Temur Battle Rage. So Temur Battle Rage, it's pretty good at pushing damage through. And it's pretty good just as a combat trick early to trade it for one of their creatures. So what are the creatures that can trigger it? We got a Tarkir, which it works really well with. We got 2 Sprinting Warbroods, Boltwing Marauder, and Tassiger. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this Summer Prowler, 6. And it works pretty well with all of those. But is 6 enough? Probably. Probably. We do have one combat trick already, Butcher's Glee, which I think is just better in this deck. This is interesting. Running low on time. Huh. We don't have any dual lands, which makes this Summit Prowler a little awkward. Yeah, I think the cut is Temur Battle Rage. Just because we've got so much to do with our mana that I don't think it's going to be that amazing. We want to just keep casting creatures. But Temur Battle Rage does help overall with our strategy of just trying to get things through. But these all do that as well. And I think the rest of our non-creatures are just better. And I don't particularly want to cut a creature. I think all our creatures are pretty strong. So, let's add lands. 10-7 is... probably correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 black cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 red cards. Yeah, our black stuff is early though. Which gets a little awkward. So I think 9-8 is better. We do have this Summit Prowler though, with the double red. But the thing is, see, for that reason, I would cut the Summit Prowler and put in Team of Battle Rage, but then you're cutting one of the cards that works well with Team of Battle Rage. So I still think this is correct. And you can still run a double red 4-drop with 9 mountains. So I'm going to do that. And we're the last cemented deck, so we'll see you in round 1.